In this video, I will show PCB kits that I built in order to further my understanding of PCB design. This AM radio has an antenna coil and ferrite coil which allows it to receive the signal. In order for the circuit to operate, the coil needs to be centered on the ferrite coil. I noticed that it may take a while to hear anything other than static. You just need to keep turning the tuning capacitor and adjusting the position of the coil. This design is personally one of my favorites because I admire the shape of the PCB boards themselves and the fact that this is composed of two boards that slide into one another. The electrical connection between the two boards is something that needed to be considered when designing. The physical soldering of this design should be a good fit for beginners. This sound LED PCB rotates through the LEDs based on how loud the noise is. The sound is heard by this component here. The simplicity of this circuit makes it one of my personal favorites. The timer PCB kit is very tedious because all of the parts are very close together. I thought it was interesting that each LED does not have its own resistor. Although it is not required, it is common. I admire the very complex connections shown on the back of the board. This does make it a little difficult to understand. The flashlight PCB kit consists of a very simple circuit. You can easily follow the connections on the back of the board. This circuit only includes an LED, resistor, push buttons to turn on the light, transistor, inductor, and the springs for the batteries. I would recommend this for those who are new to soldering. This simple soldering practice is made up of big parts with plenty of space on the board. Therefore, this PCB kit is good practice for beginners. This design consists of many parts so I can get an understanding of how they operate based on their connections. This hourglass PCB is made up of two boards stacked on top of one another. Each LED received its own resistor in this design. Since the board itself is so small, I struggled to get the chips to lay flat on the board. As you can see here, the resistor is getting in the way of the chip. This retro game allowed me to practice my surface mount soldering. It takes a while to get the hang of because you are soldering two flat pieces together rather than a component with legs. I also think it was a good idea in the design to include an option to use batteries in a USB. The acrylic box allows for a cleaner look. This LED cube is definitely not a project for beginners. It takes a few hours to construct and solder. First, I began by bending the positive and negative legs on the LEDs. The negative leg is bent down at a 90-degree angle, and the positive leg is bent at a 90-degree angle at the divot in the leg to the right. The idea of adjusting the LEDs in order to create a desired shape is quite fascinating and is something I will consider when designing my own PCB. As you can see, this cube design is very fragile. One thing in particular that was quite difficult was connecting each LED row to the bottom of the circuit board since I needed to cut the wire to the desired length and intertwine it in between the LEDs. If you are new to soldering, then I would recommend constructing the flashlight. If you are more experienced, then build the LED cube. And if you want to practice surface mount soldering, then solder the retro game. Thank you for watching this video and be sure to like and subscribe.